Hello again, Gooners. This is edition number 25 of the Loose Cannon. And number 25, who wears number 25? I'm going to put you out of your misery. Or perhaps put you in your misery, because it is, in fact, Carl Jenkinson. The Corporal, as one of my friends on the Arsenal podcast calls it, or Gooner podcast. What am I talking about? Arsenal podcast. There's no such thing, is there, yet? But maybe one day. You never know. The club might get round to it. And, well, there is an Arsenal podcast. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked already before I even start. And this time I'm going to run through a few stories. It's probably going to be a quick one. It could be famous last words from me. But the big stories of the day are the following. The Week is running this story, which I'm going to click on now, called... the title is Fernando Llorente hints at Arsenal move as Olivier Giroud slips away. Can't really... I told you all along, Olivier Giroud is just some name that I came up with. Okay, it's not an imaginary name. He's the kind of striker we'd like to have, blah, blah, blah. But Nicholas Bentner, we've already got, and then we just decided we didn't want him. So what's the point in bringing in someone of a similar ilk? Anyway, that's the story they're running, and they've probably got numerous hits from it. I mean, I should take a leaf out of the book and start doing this kind of thing myself, but... yeah, I quite like the way this story opens. It says, with the Spanish economy performing as badly as Cheryl Cole at a Jubilee concert, has Fernando Llorente finally decided it's time to jump ship and move to England? Well, he has been linked with us for quite some time. He's quoted as saying, I might end up playing in England, who knows? At the moment I'm at Athletic Bilbao, but who knows later? Not repeating himself or anything. Can't say I don't suffer from the same problem, often repeating myself. But anyway, he reckons that Xabi Alonso and Fernando Torres says that English fans are most respectful. I wonder where he got that idea from. So yeah, another player who's been linked with us, Lucas Biglia, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Argentinian midfielder heavily linked with a move to the club, and he reckons Real Madrid have also been in contact with him too. He's skipper of Anderlecht at the moment in Belgium, 26 years of age, and helped them win the league title out there. £8 million is going to cost 3 years to run, so the story goes. I remain a bit sceptical of that story. Obviously, we tend to be just watching while the other big clubs are doing business, and we just sit there twiddling. This is what we do as a club, unfortunately. I'm starting to get a little bit bitter and twisted, aren't I, right now? But anyway, who else is up for grabs? Well, there's plenty of players. I'm not gonna look at all the possibilities, but yeah, they're certainly making the news from an Arsenal point of view. There's this story which I found quite interesting. Talking of the Euros, I didn't know it's already been decided as of yet. I know Trapattoni's named his Ireland team for the first match of the group stages in the Euros, but have Holland really followed suit? Well, according to Inside Football, spelled FUTBOL.com, yes, they have. And Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is really upset with his coach, Bert van Marwijk, who's decided to start Robin van Persie up front instead of him. Well, my understanding was Robin van Persie is going to play on the wing and Robin on the other wing. Maybe I'm reading the wrong the wrong material. But anyway, I've got a completely different impression about what's going on there. So, what else have we got? What else is going on in the land of Arsenal? Well, I can tell you there's an interesting story about we're about to launch a bid for Malaga striker Salomon Rondon. Well, this comes from Tutto Sport originally. €18 million, euros it will cost to land the Venezuelan. Can't see it happening personally, even though he did get 27 goals in 2 years in La Liga. And obviously Malaga have got plenty of money. So why would he leave? Why would the 22-year-old leave Malaga, where the sun shines more often than not, to come to not so sunny old London and play for us? Okay, for the glory, yes. If he was an Arsenal fan, yes. But of course, inevitably, there's our bitter neighbours. Spurs are also being linked with the Malaga striker, and there's also apparently interest from Italy. Genoa interested, apparently, perhaps Juventus as well. So we'll see about that. I think it's a bit far-fetched. You expect this kind of thing this time of year. Another far-fetched story that the bookies took seriously is Dennis Bergkamp to take over at Swansea. Can't see that happening. There's been perhaps it's good from a publicity point of view. There is a sort of vacancy still, isn't there, at Arsenal? Steve Bold, not strictly speaking the number 2. Perhaps he'll come in as the proper number 2, and Steve Bold will slip down to number 2.5. Who knows? So if Dennis Bergkamp comes back to the Emirates Stadium, I will not be in the least bit surprised. We do have this tendency to bring back old boys, but a guy I would be surprised to see coming in is Marvin Martin of Sochaux and France. It looks like he's settling to. He's decided more or less to stay where he is at Lille, and he told L'Equipe apparently, my personal situation and my signature at Lille ? Progress has been made. There are a few things missing, but it progresses. You kind of feel something was lost in translation there, but you get the idea that Martin will not be leaving Lille. Instead, he's going to stick where he is. Of course, in the news at the moment, Cardiff City, for the wrong reasons as far as their fans are concerned, the Bluebirds will become Redbirds. How would we feel if it was turned the other way? Imagine if we got some investor from somewhere like Malaysia. Nothing against Malaysia. I love the place. I think it's great. Been there only once, though. But yeah, say we had some investors from say Iceland, and they suddenly said, it's not very likely, I know, but say Iceland. Roll with me with this one, and then they came in and they said, "Oh, we want you to change the colour of your kit, and we would like it to be." Oh, say Finland. Finland's a better example. Yes, we want it to represent the Finnish colours, which are white and blue. Now, how would we feel about that? Well, that's probably how Cardiff feel at the moment. Not quite as bad because their rivals are Swansea, who play in kind of like Spurs colours, and then. Wrexham might have been their rivals back in the day, for all we know, and they play in red. Well, anyway, we wouldn't be happy. So sympathy for Cardiff City, and the red card for the investors making the Bluebirds switch their crest to a red dragon. I can understand the reasons for doing it, but I think it's completely wrong. And the Bluebird is flying underneath the dragon. What is all that about? I heard Simon Jordan say, the ex-Crystal Palace chairman, he said if the investment was right, he'd have his team playing in thongs. Yeah, well, you got to give him points for a sense of humour there. So I don't normally do this, but I'll give Simon Jordan the green card. That's a library card, actually, so I kind of got that off the screen pretty sharpish. So I think that's about it for now. Anyway, any comments? You know where to leave them, and I'll see you again soon, perhaps. All right, until the next time, up the Gooners.